I'm Leo. I'm your favorite athlete's favorite jeweler, and this is Second Win Podcast.
You gotta do it. Damn, this shit heavy as hell. I mean,
it's the same vibe as the chain you got on too.
I might have to come back and get one of these, boys.
This is signed by the GOAT, Kareem Benzema. He won the Ballon d'Or in 2022, which means he's best soccer player of the year.
With goals this season, as Chris plays it back to Benzema.
This is signed by the next best soccer player, Vinicius Jr.
Y acelera, que bien Vinicius, sigue Vinicius, golpea Vinicius.
And this is Tchouaméni.
Tchouaméni wants it. Tchouaméni!
What's up, Second Win family? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Second Win Podcast. Here with Jay Mills and, of course, my co-host, Gio. And we had to slide out, man, to Texas, to Houston, H-Town, man, to get my man Leo on the pod.
What up, what up?
H-Town.
Let's even make this a little crazier. Why don't you guys pick one person out of this whole thing to win something? You know, a free pendant on the house.
Free pendant on the house? We can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We gonna do a little free pendant on the house.
Free pendant on the house. We got to pick someone random?
We gonna do
You
a
can pick some
giveaway.
random to like, comment, share. If one of the people on there to comment.
Yeah, we
get something.
gonna
I
run
don't
that
know.
shit up, courtesy of the GOAT himself.
Mr. Leo, man. Shit, this is my first time ever being here.
Yeah, I ain't never been to Houston either, but I heard it's dumb lit. And because it's our first time here, we got one of the hardest jewelers in the world.
Your athlete's favorite jeweler. You know what I'm saying? Say it again. Your athlete's favorite jeweler. Whoever you see, this guy gave him that jewelry, man. So had to slide down here and get you on the pod, man. Appreciate you for coming on the podcast, brother.
Thank you for flying out.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
of course,
We had to come
man.
out. You know, one thing that's really dope is like the last time I saw you was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
At Odell, we had a seafood boil or whatever. That's what they call it.
Yeah, the seafood.
boil?
I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
We had
The
that,
seafood.
and like this is when you were first starting up,
For sure.
and to see like all the stuff that you've turned this into in such a short period of time, it's been so dope, bro.
It's been really cool to see like you guys over there and then see you guys here today in my office.
That's just crazy.
It is. It's like it's a blessing. I remember that day I met up with a guy named Var. He's like a photographer, takes a picture of a bunch of athletes. He was like, "Yo, I'm chilling with Dwayne Haskins. Pull up." So I pull up with Var. I meet Dwayne. Next thing I know, I'm driving the car, Dwayne's car to O's house.
To O's house, yep.
And I'm just meeting all these people, and it's just like I just started selling jewelry. I just starting to meet people, just starting to make connections, and it's like we here today is a blessing.
It's crazy how all that shit kind of manifests itself, you know, just being like I said, just us being in that same room together. And if you just watch like and pinpoint everyone else that was in that room, 3 years from there till now, everyone is doing very successful, you know. So it's actually just like amazing to see. Like I remember I was just like, bro, he was in the cut chilling Dolo. And I was like, I remember I'm like, oh nah, that's the guy who sells chains, because you sold some of my boys some chains. I'm just like, to see your progress now is just, bro, so super inspiring.
Appreciate that.
It's also like a testament to how hard you work. You know what I'm saying? Because 3 years to a lot of people is a short span, but to somebody that works relentlessly, it's not. You know what I mean? Like you're putting in 7 days a week, 20 some hours. Like you're grinding. Like it's not really as short as people think if you really do it right.
And you grinding, you really doing what you're supposed to do.
No, there's days where I remember like starting off where it sounds crazy to people, but like I was just like, how do I take this? One, how do I test myself? And two, like, how do I test this game? So I went to Phoenix, Miami, LA, and I think New York, and back to Houston, all in 4 days. That's when I realized like the power of time and like how much time you have in a day. So now I look at time, like I look at flights. Like I'm like, all right, I got 2 hours here. Like real life, I could be in Miami in 2 hours. So it's like, what can I do with this time to get X, Y, Z done? So there's times where like I'll fly to go see a client. Let's say let's say it's NFL draft season.
Yeah.
I got 2 weeks till the draft. I'm gonna fly from Houston to LA at night. Take the 8 p.m., get there by 11, link up with my guy by 12, take the 12:50 a.m. flight back to Houston.
You maximizing your time.
And then do the same thing the next day.
Right.
Because I have a whole other 24 hours to work with.
Yep.
And it's like you could really be in 3 different cities in 3 different days, 2 days. Like So I'm like, what am I doing with my time? I feel like a loser if I'm just sitting here.
That's how I feel like if you're great in something, that's how you're going to feel. Like you're supposed to always want to be doing more. Even if you're already doing more than everyone else, the great's always, how can I do more to even maximize what I'm doing?
Yeah, for sure.
So, take us back to your childhood and growing up from, I was talking to JP, it said, I thought you were from Adleave, Texas, specifically, but, everyone says for West Side or South Side. So, take us back to your upbringing and your family life and, how that was for you.
Basically, like, my parents are from India. They met in Hong Kong. They, like, traveled a few places around the world. Every time they had a baby, they had one in the U.S. U.S. has like the best passport to travel to any country.
It's genius.
Yeah, my grandma came up with that one. So basically, we lived in California for like 6 months, and then eventually my parents just came to Houston. I was like maybe 3-4 years old, and living in Houston, everything was like right next to each other. Like we was right down the school from the elementary school. We was like 3 streets away from the middle school and like 4 streets away from the high school. Everything was right there. As a kid, I was probably like getting in trouble a lot in school.
You was fighting?
I didn't start fighting till like high school, college, but like in middle school, I would just talk a lot.
Yeah.
School, I feel like never really taught me things that I saw real life adults do.
Right.
So I was always like, why am I learning about this? I don't want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a businessman. So it was like, it was tough. To just like stay in class because I'd get kicked out. But I remember times where like, we're older and we're in college and I'm just like figuring out like, I don't know what I want to do in my life, but I want to do something.
Right. And
growing up in the West Side area, like you are very street smart. You're doing a lot of things. Like you got kids coming to class selling you Snickers, Reese's, whatever.
Hustling.
That early?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Middle school.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like they go to Costco or Sam's Club, buy like 40 chocolate bars for $20, and they buy like maybe 4 or 5 boxes. Come back and flip them.
See, that's great.
Hustling.
That's great business
Early.
etiquette right there.
But that shit translates more than like Y equals MX plus B. I ain't used that shit.
Y-intercept and shit.
I haven't used that. But like they learned that at an early age. That's business. Like that's the real world.
Like I don't know if I'm saying the right word, but it was like honey butter or something. I don't know, whatever it was.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
But basically they used to bring these little cookies to school. Bro, they was making them for like $8 and they were selling them for $3 a pop.
That's wild. It's a hustle.
Did you get that business mindset from like your environment, like your friends, or like your?
I think
your
my
parents?
friends and my family. My dad's always ran a business. My mom helped run his business. My mom runs a business today. My uncles run businesses. My grandparents run businesses. Growing up, like we weren't like the best. We weren't the wealthiest, but I can't say like there weren't things that I didn't have. Like of course I wish I had this or that, but like I didn't grow up like not missing out on too much. And then when I got to like 13, 14, like that stock market crash, all that shit happened. Like we struggled for sure.
Right.
Moving out of like a 3-story, 6,000 square foot house to thinking what I thought was normal to living in like a 2-bedroom apartment. And you're like, like, okay, this is kind of like what the heck's going on.
Yeah.
I think that plus my environment gave me the mindset I have today.
That's a great mindset.
It's a great mindset. You went to the University of Houston, right?
Yeah.
And you dropped out and started selling grills.
Yeah.
Is that something that you always wanted to do? Like, what was the thought process behind that? Like, what did your friends say? Like, what did your family say? Like, how did that whole thing transpire?
I was in a fraternity at the time. It was like bunch of guys who just wanted to just have a good time, meet some hot girls, and party. That was really it. And
like,
hey, Ray, real shit. That's college.
So basically, like we had gone to a couple nights where we were just chilling, hanging out at some people's houses. One day, one of my boys is like, "Yo, let's skip all that. Let's just chill in my crib." I'm like, "Cool." So we're chilling there. We're smoking weed. We're getting high, and he's like, "Yo, watch this video." So I'm like, "Okay, sure." I watched this video, and it's about jewelry. And I'm like, I'm a junior in college at this point. I'm a year and a half away from graduating in a business degree, supply chain management.
Now you supply chains.
Yeah.
Now you supply chains.
Business supply. Now you supply
so basically,
chains.
I'm like about to graduate through here. I have my mindset on what I want to do. I have a girlfriend that I think I'm gonna marry at the time. I have all these things like that just planned out, and I'm just like going through watching these videos, and I'm like, you know, these people are kind of doing their thing. They make good money. They do something cool, and they're doing something unique. Like, how do I do this? So I went to the jewelry store in Houston, and I met a couple people, and I told them some bullshit. I was like, yo, I got some clients. You know,
you didn't have any
you
clients.
got stuff that just sitting here. I got clients. Let me move it. So, and I told them, I said, but if I move it for you, I want to come here every day, and I just want to pick up game. I just want to learn. You don't got to pay me nothing. I'm going to come here every single day. I'll be the first one in. I'll be the last one out. You don't have to pay me. But if I sell something, we can split it. So that's how I taught myself how to get in the game. I read a book called Think and Grow Rich, and it taught me like this dude who really, really, really wanted to work with Edison. He basically like left his home in Texas to go work with Edison, to go work for him for free for 3 years, only to then Edison find out like, hey, who are you? I want to work with you. And he was like, oh, I have this idea for this project. That dude became a multimillionaire after 5 years.
Jeez.
Damn.
And it took him 2 years to become a multimillionaire, but it took him 3 years to put in the work to do that.
Right. The
So
blueprint.
I read that and I was like, I can learn the game from someone else. So I went to one of the best dudes I could go to, Iceman Nick. He was like a top guy in the industry. He was like someone who was up there when you talk about like working with like some of the biggest names in entertainment.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is a perfect spot for me to like shadow somebody. So I went there for like 6 months, a year. I sold $4 million worth of jewelry.
Jesus.
Damn.
And, you know, I was like, this is like something I am good at. This is something I'm passionate about. This is something that like I'm able to transform someone's complete style, outfit, vibe, presence. Like somebody walk up in the room, like when Justin Jefferson walks up in the room with a jet chain, you know that's Jet.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Know that's
you
Jet.
know
Like,
that's
talk
Jet.
that shit,
Talk that
boy.
shit.
You're not even gonna question it.
That's
You
real.
know that's him.
Right.
When PS2 walks in with that controller, you know he's the best cornerback in the league because he's rocking in like he is.
Yeah.
His swag, his vibe, his aura.
It's just the presence for you to have me make that for you on draft day and to be where you're at today is all about like it all comes with like you picking what you want and that me being able to bring that to life and that aura coming to life is just so dope.
Yeah.
So back to piggybacking off the Iceman Nick, like
Yeah.
how'd you come in contact? Like how'd that happen? Like you just, went to him?
I
Like,
walked
did you know
up into
him?
his office one day and I knew the spot of business where he was at, and I was like, "Yo, I want to meet with you. Like, you a brown dude, I'm a brown dude. Like,
Right.
I want you to just hear me out, you know?" And he heard me out, and he was like, "Leo, in 25 years of my entire existence, like, of me doing in this industry, he'd been in the industry for 25 years at this point. I'm going to somebody who's experienced as heck."
He's an OG.
Yeah, seriously. And he's like, "Nobody has ever told me this. I'm on board. Pull up." So we did that. We rocked it for a while, and Nick has like 6, 7 partners. I'm a young dude making money. I'm good at what I'm doing. I'm making craziest designs that people are seeing. I'm not trying to have 8 partners,
Right.
you know? But I paid my dues,
1,000%.
you know, and shook his hand, and I could call him anytime today. He'll have my back for anything, but I gotta fly too.
That's
So,
real.
What made you so confident to just be like, fuck school, like this what I'm gonna do? Because I feel like that just takes a lot of like, were you 3 years into it? Like you said, you was a year from graduating, and you just like,
I left school with 6 credit hours left.
dang.
I left school when I was a senior. I didn't leave school when I was a junior. When I first watched that video is when I first started to learn about the industry, and I started to study the industry. I started to study people inside of the industry. I started to study the top jewelers in the industry. And then I started my shit.
It's
You just
crazy.
bet on yourself.
You got to. Like, that's
I
a
think-
common theme.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people that we have on this show that are successful bet on themselves. Like, people are like, oh, like, you're not going to be able to do that. And I'm sure people probably told you that, like, oh, bro,
like you're stupid. Don't.
There's a million, like
you got
million
coming from an Indian family too. Like, my grandma was in town. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what I'm chilling at home. I get in a little like, you know, you got brothers and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, people, yada yada, get in a little argument. I'm gonna say it. Chill out.
Chill out. Like you wild.
Yeah.
Don't. No, that's crazy.
So
you can't use that against you.
I had actually left school like a month before anyone found out because I wanted to take that chance.
As you should.
I got 6 credit hours left. What am I gonna do if I take a semester off? Am I really gonna throw my life away?
Right.
No. But if I work every single day and I use that hour of every 24 hour I got and I really, 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 really give it and study it, who gonna stop me?
Nobody.
That's real.
Because I'm doing what you're not. By doing what I can and just trying to get better at it. And it was like, that was the biggest thing for me. It was like, okay, you know this today, but what you know tomorrow is like, okay, you know a little more. So how I keep doing that and how I keep putting my foot on the gas was just like, I gotta do abnormal things to achieve things that normal people can't.
That's fact.
So you fell in love with that process?
I think I fell in love with the process of bringing happiness to people when they see the jewelry. I think that's like my biggest motivation. When I first got somebody their grills, like, it's a pair of 8 on it. Like today, like we'll laugh about it. It's 8 on 8, 14 karat pair. Like everyone like, and their mom can afford that.
Yeah.
But when I gave that to somebody for the first time, and I drove into A-Leaf into the street, and I was just like pulling up to this dude's house, I made like maybe like $60. But the feeling of when he put it on, it was like, Leo, you the man.
It's like getting a haircut. You feel just...
Yeah. It was like, that $60 didn't mean nothing to me at all. I learned in that moment, if you can provide that the quality and go above and beyond, that money gonna come in. So I just focused on the quality and going above and beyond, and that's why we at where we at 3 years later.
So you never really chased the money. You chased the passion of, like you said, that feeling of...
No, I don't care about money. I don't care about money. I care about being the best person to have ever done this, and that comes with money.
Right.
Being the best at whatever you do just comes with the territory. You're blessed to be able to get the money when that happens.
Right.
But if you're focused on just getting the money, then you're not gonna do it. How many football players or basketball players do y'all know and you interview that like tell you that the money was never the main reason? They fell in love with the sport.
Yeah.
And they just so happen to be so good at it that now there's money on the table. And now I can make a decision like, you know what? I'm gonna hold out.
Right.
I'm gonna get paid.
That's real.
That's...
If you the best at anything,
Yeah.
you're gonna get paid. The money will come.
You will. And if you focus on quality, you focus on relationships, you focus on taking care of the individual, you focus on just like making sure he's happy or she is happy, you got nothing that can stop you.
It's kind of like when my dad used to tell me about like chasing money. My dad said always, chase passion, never chase money.
Facts.
It's like kind of like the law of attraction type thing. The more you chase money, the more the shit ain't gonna come to you. He's like, but if you chase that passion and you indulge in what you're doing and love what you're doing, the money's always gonna come because it's organic.
Yeah.
It's real.
And when you read even books, like people have, the most successful people that we don't even know have written books and died. But in these books, they talk about just being genuine. Like a genuine act can go so far. Now it's like you can make a genuine act, but some people could do something and be like, well, I did this for this person. Why he didn't do it back? Wasn't genuine if you're thinking like that.
When you're looking for something in return.
Yeah, it's not genuine then.
Yeah.
1,000%.
But if I'm genuinely like just trying to show you that I can go out of my way for you as a business in a hope that maybe being a nice person comes back around to me, it will. Like Vinicius Jr., Justin Jefferson, Patrick Surtain, Jalen Waddle, like these people have changed my life. They always tell me, nah, Leo, we didn't change your life. You changed your life. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. But there's rooms and there's situations that y'all ain't ever have to say nothing. And it's not just those guys. I could say like proudly on like everything that people have told me things that I just never even imagined. Like my name is bouncing around the Real Madrid locker room.
It's crazy.
That's a blessing.
That's like, I thought it was dope when DJ Jones told me that at the 49ers. He was like, yo, your name's bouncing around the 49ers locker room. And I was like, that was 2 years ago. Now they're telling me my name bouncing around the Real Madrid locker room. And I'm like, I grew up watching soccer.
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo was my favorite athlete ever. He played for Real Madrid.
It's wild.
I just think if you work hard, God takes care of you.
For sure.
I believe in that same thing, bro.
That same thing.
Proof's in the pudding.
Like, this is one of the most competitive industries in the world.
And I don't feel like it is.
You don't feel like it is?
I never feel the pressure of another jeweler. Ever.
That's crazy.
You just stay in your lane.
I stay in my lane. I've been sued by other jewelers. I've been talked mad shit about from other jewelers. I don't speak on them. I don't mention them. I don't talk about them. I don't care. If you so worried about me and what I got going on, I'm doing it right.
Doing it right.
1,000%.
Doing it right.
If you ain't got haters, bro, you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah,
bro.
but
You ain't doing
again,
it right.
that just comes with the territory. If you're trying to be the best, other people gonna say they're better than you. Other people gonna say that they're coming for you. They want to be known better than you. They want to do things in other ways. And it's like, I get motivation from two things. I get motivation from the joy of what I do, and I get motivation from my haters, for sure.
That's a fuel to the fire.
You gonna try to sue me for $2 million? I'm gonna run up 5.
Facts. What the fuck is they talking about?
It's a bar.
Fuck is
boy.
they talking
That's
about?
A bar.
Hell yeah.
Like, you've worked like relentlessly to get your clientele. Like, I'm talking Joe Burrow, Jettas, like Jamar Chase, that big fire sauce chain that he got that everybody know about. Like, that's you. And then even like this past draft, Bijan, JSN, Jordan Addison, like, and then you double back on soccer. You got Vinicius Jr. Like, do you ever sit back and think like, I'm really doing this shit?
I think it's good to remind yourself that you're doing this stuff, but not to get too caught up into it. Like, to get caught up into the fact that these are my guys and these are something it just takes you to a state of mind where you might think that you're there yet, and I don't feel like I'm there yet. And I feel like these things should come with what I got going on. I should be world renowned. Mm-hmm. I should have guys like Vinicius Jr. I should have guys on Barcelona. I should have guys on Chelsea. I should have guys all throughout the NFL, NBA. I should have guys in boxing. I should have guys everywhere. Because I'm that dude.
Hell yeah.
Like, why would I not?
Right.
It come with the territory. And I'm trying to be that dude that, took it to something else it is. I'm not going to be doing what I'm doing forever, this custom jewelry stuff. But now you got a chance to buy it from me when I'm doing it. Because eventually I'm going to move into a different lane. I'm already there. So it's like, I'm trying to just take care of the people that I'm taking care of right now. And if other clients and other people decide to work with me like they did this draft, they reached out to me, vice versa. They were trying to build something like a legacy and, trying to be a part of this family that I have growing. It's like, it's really, 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 really like, not only motivating, but it just takes it to like, okay, like, this is what you're supposed to do.
For someone like you, just like in general, you're so busy, you travel all the time.
Yeah.
Like piggybacking off of what you just said, like, do you ever stop to like smell the roses sometimes, brother? Like, you know what I'm saying? He was just naming off all those names. You walk in here, we see all this. Like, you ever just sit back and be like, damn, like, okay, like, I'm him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you're great at something and you have the process and you fall in love with that process, you kind of tend to just forget about the journey. You know what I'm saying? Or the great things that you have done already.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever just sit back and just, okay, take a deep breath and be like, damn, like, I am that guy.
Yeah. I want to sit here and sound like the most confident person in the world. There are days where I have my days too where I'm like, damn, like I got some stuff going on or like life's not perfect. But then those are the days where you remind yourself who you are and what you've done. And I think that those moments help so much because then I do remind myself, hold up, I am that dude. Like, I'm gonna figure it out. I got it. Or like people would real life kill to be in the shoes that I'm in. So what I got tripping about?
Right.
I need to just double down, work harder. And anytime I do look at this stuff, it's celebrated through not just me, but through my family.
1,000%.
I know for a fact that it's being celebrated, whether it's directly through me or through my environment. Mm-hmm. So every day I'm constantly reminded, like, son, keep working harder, or like, you're doing a great job, or, moms is like, I'm so proud of you, or this and that, you've done X, Y, Z. And it's like, there's so many good people in my life and so many reminders about the good things I got in my life. Like, I could call up Guzzi any day and JP, he'd be telling me, hey, bro, you blah, 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 blah. So it's like, sometimes I don't even get to stop and smell the roses because the roses just keep getting put in my face.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, it's a blessing.
Bro, that's a huge blessing, bro. Just like it's just even like walking into this, just like being in this environment, even being around you, just like the energy is like just very inspiring. You know what I'm saying? I love being around positive people because I'm a big like frequency and like law of like vibration. I'm like kind of weird with that shit, but I believe in that.
Yeah,
like the people you hang around with, you're going to rise up like
facts
to what they're doing. So if you're around nothing but greatness, you have no choice but to be fucking great.
No
100%.
choice.
You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
that's just. Some people got it, some people don't, but like I just believe that.
And I think that's why I came onto this podcast too, because like I think y'all are dealing with a lot of people that are surrounded by greatness, and I think that you guys are great at what you're doing, and I just feel like the level of where you could take it through the people other dudes can't get in that room.
Appreciate that,
1,000%, bro. I mean, so much.
Like, you're also right. Like, it's important to build your network, and like we feel like we got an extensive network with like people that you can't just sit in the room with. Like people can't just sit in a room and talk to you and chop it up like that. You know what I'm saying?
Like spending some money.
Spending some dough, but it comes with the territory for sure. And shout out to JP, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
It's important,
It's
important to have good people around you, like that got genuine energy. Like I just met him today. I'm like, shit.
Yeah,
he real as hell.
We locked in. Like for real.
I try to keep good people around me, and I think that's important. If you have a goal in life and you focus on it, you can't have people around you that's gonna shit on that. You can't have people around you that tried it and failed and discouraged by it themselves. You gotta have people who believe in you. You gotta have something inside you too. And if you're living at home and you have a negative environment and like people at home are stopping you, you gotta take a risk and leave.
Real.
You got to.
For sure.
Your environment is very
because
important.
You got you, And even if you want to get the people around you, how you gonna get the people around you when you ain't got yourself?
Real shit. It's crazy because, like I said, like Saquon, he was one of our first guys that we had on our podcast, and he was talking about team, right? Like in that team shit, like I solely believe in that. Like the people that you surround yourself with. Like I talk to these guys every single day, every minute, and it's like we're all on the same wavelength, right? Like no negative. We're always thinking positive. We're always thinking how to get better. How can we get better as a group or individually? Just like always contributing. So it's like if you're not on that same wavelength, bro, you can't come into my space.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how we are. I feel like
yeah, I ain't even gonna associate with you. I ain't even gonna be around you. I ain't answering your texts. Like you gonna think I fell off the face of the map.
That energy shit real.
Yeah, that shit is very contagious.
So, having that big clientele, right? Like all those A-list guys, man, like those first round picks or the guys, the Pro Bowl guys doing their thing right now. What makes you different from the other jewelers that try and do the same thing?
I feel like, I don't want to say nobody else original because that's kind of rude. But I just feel like the authenticity of what I have going on and what I'm creating, and I think that not only is it cool for me to work with Bijan Robinson, I think it's cool for Bijan Robinson to work with me too. Mm-hmm.
Goes both ways.
It does, and I think it's like it goes back again to me harping on the authenticity of things. Like, who is this person? Who is this person becoming? Where is his trajectory? Like, what does this person have going on? Like, is this going to turn into something greater than it is? And if it is, I don't want to miss the bus.
Yeah.
For
sure.
So I think it's very, very cool to have all these A-list clients, but like I think the best part about it is I just get to work with like amazing human beings. Mm-hmm. These people are so disciplined. This will inspire the fuck out of you.
Some of the most hard work people on this planet.
Some people I feel like I can genuinely relate with are my clients, and I feel like that's why I got so many. Mm-hmm. You talk about Joe Burrow, this guy's a hard worker. I'm thinking, if Joe Burrow's in my industry, how hard is he gonna go?
Right.
He gonna go hard as fuck.
That's real, bro.
So I gotta go hard as fuck.
Yeah.
For me. And I think it's like these people that you work with, you just get not only inspired to work with them, but I like to keep good people around me. Go back to that thing. So my clients are all good people. I like being around them. I got some people that I've worked with that I will never mention.
Right.
You know? But like, you get your bad apples. Life ain't perfect.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And being around the A-list guys is cool, but it just like, I think the influence that they have over the children and the next generation is the dopest thing.
So dope, bro.
So when I get to make a change for you, and it's not really just for you at this point. Like, it's for the next generation to look at too.
I like the way you think.
So I realize that in what I'm doing. So it's like, there's probably some 10-year-old out there right now that's like, man, when I get drafted, I'm getting my chain from Leo.
100%.
Got to.
So
1,000,000%. He's looking at that sauce chain when he's sitting courtside the next game, and he's like, yo, in a couple years, I'm going to get drafted. I'm going to Leo, and I'm getting a chain that says Bam Bam. Or whatever his nickname is. But nah, for sure.
That's like, legacy, though, bro.
It is.
Like, that's legacy.
I think that's where the focus is at. So when you talk about, like, when you're working with the guys right now, how you feel is like, yeah, I feel good. But I feel better knowing that, like, I'm building something that's going to be crazy. They'll make a movie on this.
For sure.
I promise. Like, the rooms I've been in, the things I've done, like, I've been so blessed. I've been in rooms you'll never imagine. I've done things that people probably have never got to do, and they've lived like 90 years.
90 years.
It's crazy.
And you're still in your 20s.
You know?
Do you ever get, like, burned out? Like, you work your ass off.
I do. Do I get burned out? I feel like it's not fair because, like, when you love what you do, you can get tired, but you can't get burned out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Tom Brady was addicted to the sport, man.
Yeah,
He could not let that shit go. You know? He could have left on top too many times. But I think it's like, there's a passion in your life, and God gives you, like, certain people to do certain things. And I feel like God gave me the blessings and ability to be this person. You know? Can I get tired knowing that I got all these blessings? Like, it's kind of hard to.
It's a blessing to be a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you impacted so many people just through who you are as a person, and that, I think that's the dopest thing that we were just saying, like, your relationships with these guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just transactional.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
It
Like,
can't be.
Like, it's
These are
my boys.
Like, I sell jewelry for a living. That's not who I am. I'm not a jeweler.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'm a person that I'm trying to be a good person, trying to be a man of God. I'm trying to be, like, just someone who's known as to, like, when I'm gone tomorrow, like, you know, you go back and say, Leo made some dope ass shit for sure, but Leo was a good dude. Leo was a person that was an outstanding person. Leo took care of me. Leo went above and beyond. Leo did things that he didn't have to do. I had a client tell me some funny story. You know, I went to go see Joshua Joby. It's when they were playing the Eagles versus Chiefs Super Bowl. I walk up in his room. He ain't got no shirt on. He trying to see how the jewelry look with the shirt. He ain't got a shirt. I took the shirt off my back, gave it to him. Like, hey, put this on. Afterwards, I'm like, you ain't got no shirt? He's like, nah. I'm like, keep it. I walk out the hotel room without a shirt.
Oh, that's crazy.
Know? Like, for me, it's like, I just want to make sure you're good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I treat my family. It's how I treat my friends. Like, if we're working together, I don't want to just work with you. I want to work with you and take care of you things outside of jewelry. Call me for something. I know people all over the world. Call me when you're in Madrid. I'll get you tickets to the game. I'll get you private dinners. I'll get you private shopping. I'll get you whatever you need.
Yeah.
Call me when you're in Miami. You can't, Carbone's full? Call me.
Right.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
We need more people. Like, that's just genuine. That's just because not a lot of people think about other people. Like, my grandfather always told me, he said, no matter how much you do for somebody or whoever, people always remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? You can meet someone one time, like in 4 or 5 years from now, you always remember how that person made you feel.
Yeah.
That dude was a fucking asshole, or that dude was a genuine fucking dude, because you could just tell. Like who you are as a person, that rubs off on other people.
And that shirt off your back, like literal example, is really a metaphor for how you are. Like you're the type of person that would give the shirt off your back by the way you're talking about your relationship with your family and your clients.
Yeah.
You know, like you gave the shirt off your back to give to one of your clients, but like you would give the shirt off your back metaphorically too.
Yeah.
You know, so
1,000%.
It's a lot, like you mean that.
Yeah. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's like, and I feel like if you don't mean that, you don't go up.
that's
like,
real.
You have to be genuine to go up in life. You have to be a good person. Like, being a good person is why I have success. It's not because somebody can't, maybe they can't come up with a design like me, but,
Nah,
you
they
know.
can't.
Nah, you one, brother.
You know, if they can possibly get something near that or do something like what I can, I'm sure it's possible. But it's like you can buy that from someone and make it transactional. Or you could get to know me as a person and what I do, and I get to know you as a person and what you do. To be honest, like playing football, being an NFL player, that doesn't define who you are. That's just what you do for a living. And I look at all my guys like that. Soccer, football, basketball, baseball. Like, I'm not going to treat you like you're not a person. A lot of people forget they treat them as superheroes.
Yep.
They're looking at them like, yo, you know, they're just lost for words.
That's real shit.
Right.
And in reality, it's really like, who cares if this person's good at what they do? Are they a good person?
My dad used to tell me all the time growing up. He said, so many people in the league, like people love these people. He said, they're shitty people in the league. He's like, just because they play football don't mean they're a great person. Or just because they, see them on TV don't mean they're a great person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, being a good person takes you so far in life.
Yeah. So I try not to get caught up in all that shit. Like, being around, like Rodrigo's an up-and-coming soccer player. Rodrigo's about to be, like top 10 for sure.
That guy.
And, I mean, he scored 2 goals against Manchester City in the last 2 minutes. They was down by 1 goal. They needed 2 to win. It's 1 minute left, G. He scores 2.
Oh, he's him. He's him,
crazy.
bro.
And
He's
then Vinny scores the goal in the final to win. You know, these are guys that, like, when they go back home to Brazil, they're gods.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, soccer in Brazil is a religion.
For real.
It's not like
Bro,
football and basketball is like, the way people look at it here, it doesn't come close to how people look at soccer
They used
there.
to kill people back in the day for missing PKs, bro.
No, seriously.
Like, and like burn your house down type shit.
That shit is wild.
Bro, it's crazy, bro. That's how serious they take it, though.
But they're like such good people, man. And that's the most, I've never seen Vinicius Jr. or Rodrigo ever tell somebody no for a picture.
It's crazy.
And I promise you, they talking way more pictures than somebody in another sport. It's a worldwide, international World Cup sport.
Mm-hmm.
Icon.
But to be an icon and to be so humble and to be so gracious are things that are like, okay, then why would I feel some type of way in my industry?
Tell me about the process on, like, the creative design on how to make the chain.
That's the most fun thing you could
You know
have
what I'm
asked me
saying?
today.
Like, the ground up process on how to make the chain, the
It's
design.
really like, I would ask you the same question, like, what's your type of thing that you've always pictured for yourself? Like, let's create an image in your head of exactly what you want to create. Or give me some ideas. Like, and you would tell me, what are things you like in your life?
Family. I play football. Shit. A podcast.
Like, what the fuck? Like, why you wait so long to say podcast?
Podcast. I'm just thinking.
Before I kick you off this set. What the fuck is you doing?
But yeah, I would say like those things.
So some easy thing right away. First of all, your logo, Second Win Podcast.
Boom.
Fire. If it's about family and football, we're going to sit down together and I'm going to tell you these are 2 generic things. Like, we got to get more in depth. I got to know who you are.
Right.
Because once I know who you are, I can design you the most precious chain that something's meant to you. Anyone can get a number 1 chain. Anyone can get a number 10 chain. You know?
Right.
Right.
can you get a number 1 chain that when you flip it on the back, it has every detail about your family. It has features on the front where like different colors mean different things to you. And it's all personal, so it's what it means to you. Mm-hmm. So it's like when you talk about the creative side and like the personal side, it's like, this is where I get to know who I'm working with. This is why me and my clients are close.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to understand who this person is and who their vibe is. If you're going to spend 60, 70, 100, 200, 300, 400, $2 million with me, I got to know you, bro.
That's real.
I don't want you to buy something stupid and you look at me like a year later and be like, man, fuck Leo.
No, real shit.
I think that's my biggest thing. I don't want to fuck Leo. I want to, man, Leo got some shit for me that either A, that's how I look at it. This is why I love working with the people I'm working with. A, I could keep this for the rest of my life. It's part of me. It's like iconic to my personality. When people see me with this, they think of me. You know, when they see that image of whatever that is, they think of me. Mm-hmm. The second part is like, I genuinely believe, just like how somebody can buy a signature with a card on it and spend like $500,000.
Yeah.
Why would you not want a chain somebody has worn before to keep in your house to show people?
Right.
This is things that people haven't even thought of because jewelry hasn't been around that long. We've entered the renaissance of the jewelry era, if you ask me. Mm-hmm. Like, we wasn't Jacob & Co., Johnny Dang, all these OGs, Ben Baller, Greg Una, they were the pioneers of this stuff. But now we in like the Renaissance era.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like I'm the Shakespeare of jewelry right now.
Hell
like,
yeah. You doing your thing.
Like, it's going to a place right now where we're doing things that they weren't able to do before. I just made a piece for Will Anderson. He asked me, Leo, I want a chain. I like the Terminator. What can I do? So I'm like, bro, if you Google Terminator, there's like a billion images that'll pop up.
Right.
You know? So I'm thinking to myself, like, you know, what should I do? So I said, let's link up. So I linked up with him in person, and I was like, why don't we try taking some headshots? So I took some shots, just like you guys took some shots of me earlier today. Side profile, front profile, side profile. And I put that in a 3D file, and I scanned it, and then I scanned the Terminator face 3D file, and I scanned it. Then I split the faces in half, and I combined them. Mm. So basically, I was like, if you've with the Terminator so much, why don't we make you the Terminator?
Yeah.
And I showed it to him, and he was like, man, this is so dope. But there was something missing. And I think it's the fact that I put his face in it. You know, because he likes the Terminator. And even though he wants to be like, you know, he's going to be sacking hella quarterbacks, first of all.
Yeah, he's a dog. He's a monster.
He's a fucking animal. Like, shout out Will Anderson. But he will probably be known as the Terminator.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, how do I really connect him to that? In football, you don't see the guy's face. He got a helmet on. Mm-hmm. So why am I wasting my time with this face? Why not put his last name next to the Terminator? Everybody see his last name.
Everyone.
Everybody. It's on a jersey. When you see the quarterback get sacked, Anderson.
Right.
That's real.
So now I got the Terminator's face next to his last name going down, Anderson. That's it.
That's
genius.
hard.
That's it. And here's the best part. The eye lights up.
See?
I click the bottom of it, and the eye laser red pops up.
That's genius. Like some Terminator shit. That's genius.
That's crazy.
To make it more unique, the numbers 31 fall into how you spell Terminator. His number is 31. His favorite number is 31. He wore that in college.
This shit sounds
crazy. Sounds insane.
So on the back of it, it says Leo featured Terminator, but Terminator is spelled with a 3-1 on the back.
3-1. It's crazy. Boy.
That's how intricate you got to it. That's crazy.
It's like the details of like who you are as a person and what you want to do, what you want to create is where like it becomes fun.
It's fire.
I can show you 100 drawings right now, 100,000, and probably like out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of drawings I've made, I'm okay with somebody just picking one because that one is meaningful to you. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, and I don't know how other jewelers work. I don't know what the process of what somebody else does. I don't really give a fuck. But if I'm able to give you all of this and provide this all for you and go all the way for you and show you all this stuff, you might like something. At worst, you don't. And that's why I go back to, like, if it was genuine, I'm not expecting nothing from you. So if I did all this from you, you still don't want to buy nothing?
Good.
I'll catch you, brother.
Be good money.
It's green.
It's green.
You didn't waste my time. You were interested in something that you thought you may or may not like, and you may have thought that I was the person or may not the person to do it for you. And I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to force. I hate being forced.
If I were flashback, if I would have told you when you were in college, when you were in Houston, that you'd be doing, you know, GQ, you'd be doing GQ interviews, you'd
I got a
be
GQ interview this week too.
Nike, oh, that's fire.
USA Today.
USA
Forbes.
Today, Forbes, you know, the NFL, this past draft, you know, you were all over the face, you know, giving all the first rounders change. Like, what would you say if I told you this back then, that you'd be doing this right now?
I would tell you to get off the weed. Seriously.
Stephen A. style, stay off the weed.
Yeah, I would tell you that for sure.
Really?
Yeah. I think that I've always wanted to be a business owner. I think the entrepreneurial spirit has always been inside me. Shout out to U of H for denying me for the entrepreneurship program.
Shout out to U of H. You guys created a
monster.
Yeah. And I just feel like it was something that it was going to happen eventually. I just didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew I wanted to do something. I wanted to be good at it. And I think that when I kind of got stuck and just like didn't know what to do, that's when I focused on self-enhancement and self-performance. People play video games and they get level ups all the time. We can level up in real life too. You can gain an attribution from here. It's like a virtual upgrade, but it's like we in the Matrix damn near, because I could read a book, gain some information, and do some shit that you can't.
Yeah.
It's an upgrade. So I focus on self-development and self-enhancing books. I read books like How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read books like Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah,
I gained a mindset of things that I hadn't seen before. And putting those things all together, it was like, I know the foundation of how to run and be a good business. Now I just got to find something I'm good at and I can make it a niche out of.
Yeah.
So I found that I am good at designing and creating jewelry. I'm good at building relationships. I don't get tired of flights. Like, this is the perfect job for me.
So this is one of our staple questions that we always ask, you know, and I'm very eager to hear your answer. So if you had to describe your life in one word or phrase, what would you say?
I say it's the perfect chaos.
That's dope.
Nah, it's different.
Why is it perfect chaos?
I say the perfect chaos just because if you were to see what goes on in my life and how hectic it is to accomplish and create and do all the things I've done and to do them the right way is hectic. Like I just told you, you know, when we were chopping up before this interview, that I had flown to Germany, Spain, London, back to Spain, back to Germany, back to the U.S., all in 7 days before these guys had to go to the World Cup.
It's crazy.
It's insane. But any human being, if they take that time, can do that. But it's chaotic. But because I feel like I can handle it all, it's the perfect chaos.
That's a great answer. Perfect chaos.
Super unique, bro. Like, it's like you already thought about that already. That shit was crazy.
Yeah. Perfect chaos.
Perfect chaos. So another question, that's another staple question that we always ask is, you know, this show is called The Second Win, right?
Fire.
And like, we always want our viewers to watch and be able to take something from it. If they didn't take away nothing from the last hour of stuff that we talked about, I want them to take away something from this question. So what's advice for someone that you have going through anything that's trying to catch their second win? You know, maybe if it's not even they want to be a jeweler, but just in life, like something that you've always carried with you.
I think something a lot of people don't know about me is when I was going to the University of Houston, I shared some test banks with some of my fraternity brothers. Those test banks got forwarded in a group chat of an entire class. Everyone got the same grade. They did some research and they found out the test banks came from me. In a fraternity, why would you not have test banks?
Right.
You got people taking the same classes. So the business school actually kicked me out of the business school. And when I realized that I'm not going to get to do what I want to do with my degree, there's no point in me doing it. I could go to another school and finish it off, but I got 6 hours left. I could do that anytime. And I think if you dial back into your life and you just actually push away from everything you have, your friends, your daily stuff, you just pause back and you reflect on you, you should be able to go over your own life, review your own life. If you're not reviewing your own life and realizing that you don't have certain qualities that you're missing and you're doing this, then try to get those things and then come back. And then come back to whatever it is you're doing. You're going to be a beast. You just have to work on you. And I tell people all the time, read more books. Focus on, of just being a better you. Mentally, physically, spiritually, religiously, all of the things above. Focus, dial in, and pray. Praying is the number one thing. If you're not praying for it like you want it, you're not going to get it. Ever. Ever, 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 ever.
Yeah.
And so for people that could take something away, just dial back and just focus on you, self-development. Take out 6 months of 6 months of someone's life can change their whole world. I swear to God. Because the thing is that as human beings, we're stuck in a routine. We got friends, we keep up with their lives. They got drama, we got drama. They got things, we got things. This going on, that's going on. This client needs that client needs that. Work life, business life, relationship, this, that. 6 months of just focusing on trying to build everything around you better and make it better will actually make your life better than just trying to wake up every day and do better.
That's fire.
That's a great fucking
You know?
That's fire. But, we want to tell you, bro, we appreciate you jumping on this podcast.
For sure. I appreciate y'all
man, much
having me.
love.
You
man.
busy as hell, but
You're one of the first people I thought of, man, when we first started. I remember hitting
Love.
you. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I gotta had to get you on here, man. So
I appreciate that. And I see you guys going really far with this. Like I said, my network is your network, and that's how you guys should treat everything moving forward. This has been fun, not only just to talk about this with y'all, but to realize myself, these are things that are going on in my life. These are things that are happening, and I gotta smell the roses.
Smell the roses,
because
man.
you inspiring us, man.
Inspiring the shit out of me. I'm
For
like,
sure.
damn, I'm listening to him.
We gotta go harder.
Hey, Second Wind family, man. We want y'all to subscribe, get your cousin, get your auntie, get your
Dog, your cat, tell them to subscribe, all that shit.
Second Wind family, we out.
Appreciate y'all.